how job hunting in a changed environment has differed over a period of time. We've tried a different format this time around to put a topic and to have individuals with senior backgrounds to perhaps give a bit of a brief of the industry that they come from as a starting point, and to then look at what's changed over the years in terms of job hunting, take some questions from the floor, and then see if, as peers helping peers, we can see if there are ways in which the questions that there are around the table can be addressed by those that are around the table. Besides the mentoring that took place in May, July in Sydney, and then in Brisbane in July, and in Melbourne, we try to have a virtual Toastmasters Club, because I'm sure everyone would recognize that we live in a world where people have very short attention span. So when you're with someone that you want to have an engagement with, you want to pretty much make sure that you're not taking a long time to get that engine started. You want to get those conversation flows going. So in terms of Toastmasters, again, that's a lot more difficult to do, given the fact that we've seen to try and have it in a physical premise is a lot more difficult. I've tried to see if we could have Toastmasters virtually. So, and Tony Palachek is someone that's actually, in fact, had a background with Toastmasters. And I think with Tony, we're trying to explore how MyEC community could look at a virtual Toastmasters.
I'm a member of Toastmasters Club. I'm an engineer like you are, most of you, and I'm managing projects. What you find is, in both of those, you need to communicate with people. You have a lot of stakeholders, a lot of people to work through and express your ideas. Toastmasters is a very useful tool. And if I say I learned two things since I came to Australia in '91, one is how to take care about my spine, because they show you how to do it. And another is Toastmaster. I learned many other things, but those two things are game changers.
Perhaps if I can get started off, the format for today's forum will be an industry brief by those. Now, these are individuals that have worked over a period of time in these particular sectors. They're not necessarily industry experts, so that these are not guys who've run theses on that, but they just, from an experiential point of view, have had enough experience to be able to talk about what they see to be whether the industry is growing, stagnant, or in decline. And I think that'll be a good precursor for what I'd like to talk about further.
My name is Arunesh. I've got a company called 80 & Watts. I'm graduate electrical engineer, masters in sustainable design, plus I'm a accredited PV solar designer. So Ray asked me to speak a few words on solar and wherever we can find more opportunity in PV solar market. As far as growth is concerned, there is growth. It's bound to grow. The market at the moment, I think, stands at 4 gigawatt installed capacity, which according to PV Solar Association might go to 14 gigawatt in 2020. So you have a proof of that Australian has started manufacturing PV solar system called Pinto Solar. So if somebody is investing, they might have done a lot of market survey, and definitely the trend we are getting, the market is growing, demand is growing, and people are looking into it.
Could you provide a brief introduction to yourself, and then just the 3 to 5 minutes on the industry, please?
Certainly, I guess my background is that I've spent 17 years in the power industry, and probably one of the things that I notice about those 35 years is that we still have a power industry and we still have a mining industry. But the history of the mining industry, of course, goes back some thousands of years, and we still continue to have a demand for metals and mineral resources. So my prediction is that will continue. I think that's a pretty safe prediction, and with that, it brings a demand for people, of course, as well. So the demand for steel and aluminium and copper, plus various other minerals and exotic materials will continue. Associated with that, of course, there is the cycle to mining, because each mine has got its own life. So there's an exploration component, a development component, the operation of the mine, and then subsequently the closure of the mine site. And through those phases, of course, there are various studies and people involved in those activities.
Right, so it's apparent through the press that there's a lot going on. All right, so in the next 4 to 5 years, the New South Wales government is planning to spend about $15 billion on infrastructure, and they've already started on that commitment. So when you look at North Connects, which is the M2 to F3 or M1, whatever you want to call it, they changed the names. That's a $3 billion project that's currently underway, an unsolicited bid from the operator, Transurban, that got that underway. There's a Northwest Rail Link which is currently underway, and that's getting a lot of press at the moment. WestConnex is the next major one. Okay, the extent of rail infrastructure upgrade over the next 4 to 5 years is quite significant. There's the Sydney Metro, if you haven't heard about that, which is extending the Northwest Rail Link all the way through the city, New Sydney Harbour Crossing, through to Martin Place, out to Sydenham and down to Bankstown Line. It'll be a 66-kilometre metro-style rail network. All right, so the amount of work just in talking about it, let alone trying to deliver. Now, the basis of that success in New South Wales, which is something that the industry has been calling for many, many years, has been about government actually having a plan. All right. And in a lot of, when you look now at Victoria still, in Queensland, in Western Australia, they're still fumbling around. And where things have solidified here in New South Wales, and you know, it is kudos to the current government, they've actually got a plan and they're sticking to it and they're actually delivering to it. What that does is it introduces confidence to the major Tier 1 contractors, the consultants, and people coming through the ranks in terms of you know, investing and committing to the construction industry has reinvigorated. It was stagnant here in New South Wales for many years, and the only project that everyone looked towards was Barangaroo. Okay? Other than Barangaroo, there wasn't much else going on, especially from the commercial too. A lot of buildings are coming to end of life. And what a lot of clients are doing, that we're seeing in the major portfolios, is they're trying to extend the life of their buildings, or they have to improve their operation because they're being forced by the market to have more efficient buildings, more sustainable buildings, because they won't get tenants.
So, I guess automation control is an area where it doesn't really rise and fall so much. It rises with the booms, but it only comes down to a certain level where we all talk about maintenance, repair and operations. Because a mine, when it's in place, will require instrumentation all the time. It's always getting broken, it's always getting damaged, it needs repair, needs some improvement. The control system, what was put in 10 years ago, has done a job, but things have changed and the process needs to be improved, so they do some sort of upgrades.